Should there be a constitutional amendment banning gay marriage?
Absolutely not. We're the state of live free or die, and people should be able to marry the person they love.
Okay, so let's take that question from Heidi Turcotte. And there you hear the reaction from Granite Staters, the live free or die state, and pose this to Sam Brownback. Senator Brownback, should there be a constitutional amendment banning gay marriage, and if so, why?
Answer to that is yes. And the reason is this is a foundational institution. It is a foundational institution. I understand this is a divided audience on this, and I understand we as a country are struggling with this question, but these issues aren't done in a vacuum. I had a question earlier about family values, and I think this is important for us to rebuild the family structure. In countries that have redefined marriage, where they've said, okay, it's not just a man and a woman, it can be two men, two women, the marriage rates in those countries have plummeted to where you have counties now in Northern Europe where 80% of the firstborn children are born out of wedlock. We don't need more children born out of wedlock. We need more children born into a wedlock, between a mom and a dad bonded together for life.
You're a naughty boy, probably even a nasty, bad, naughty boy.
Congratulations, New Hampshire. You actually booed gay bashing. There's never an egg timer around when you need one. What did I tell you? I think the days of gay bashing for the GOP are over. I think that's what the Larry Craig story helped create. I think people understand that all the gay bashing in this country and all of the bigotry in this country has led the man to the bathroom, and it's not a great place. So I was really excited to see the Republican debate last night. I don't know how many people watched it, probably like 3, but I watched it so you didn't have to. But it was great because they were in the live free or die state of New Hampshire at the University of New Hampshire, and Brownback got booed, and you know that was a heterosexual audience, because if they were gay, they would have hissed, right? So we know that the heteros have had it with the gay bashing and the bigotry, especially in the live free or die state of New Hampshire. What's fascinating to me is that Brownback didn't say, oh, okay, I know you're booing me because you're the live free or die state. But isn't that a slippery slope to live gay or free? Isn't it, people? You know, it was amazing that it was such an amazing turnaround for the grand old pervert party to actually boo people that were practicing open bigotry because they're so used to applauding it. There was a woman in the front row, I really don't know if you watched it or not, but there was a woman in the front row. She was an older woman, and she was obviously there with her older husband, you know, yearning for the great days of the 50s where you could, you know, hate the appropriate people, you know. Anybody different from you, of course, you know, where you could hate people of color, where you could hate people of a different family structure, where you could hate people that didn't have sex with, you know, you know. And she kept applauding all these weird things. I mean, she would applaud the gay bashing, and then she would applaud, you know, the non-gay bashing. Like the woman that said, no, we're in the Granite State, this is a live free or die state, and, you know, you should be able to marry whoever you love. She'd applaud that, and then Brownback would get up there and he would say, oh, no, we need families that are... And what planet is he living on, really? What country is he looking at where we need children raised in families with a man and a woman who are bonded together for life? Well, am I crazy, Glue? What is he? He's going to put a constitutional amendment that says once you get married, that's pretty much it. You're done. There is no more divorce in the United States. Oh, man. Domestic violence. Woo! Through the sky. And I don't even know, you know, which orifice that man really prefers. Do you? It's unclear. It's really unclear. I don't know what he does for, you know, Friday nights. I have no clue. I don't want to know. I don't want to think about it. I'm sick of thinking about Republicans having sex. It is the most traumatizing experience I have ever been through in my entire life. Enough of that. But New Hampshire, beautiful. Way to go. Very proud of you last night. Very proud of you. You know who won that debate? I was actually looking at it. Was on Fox News, which is probably why a lot of you didn't bother to, you know, turn it on, which, you know, in a weird way I applaud. A smattering for you. But what was really fascinating was they did a poll, and they asked who won the debate. And you know who the winner was? Ron Paul. The winner was the least likely to win, Ron Paul from Texas. 35% of Fox News viewers preferred Ron Paul to the next best vote getter, which, by the way, was Mike Huckabee of Arkansas. 18% he got. Now, Sean Hannity would have none of it, so he decided to trash his own network. He decided to say that their secure way of deciding who won the Republican debate in New Hampshire wasn't really secure. He actually trashed his own ability to gather the facts because he didn't like the result, and so he turned around and just trashed his own network for it. That's a graceful loser, isn't it? I don't. What do you say about that guy? He's unbelievable. He's like, okay, let's see what, and he puts up, the poll results, and when it was 33% for Ron Paul, I went, no, this isn't going to be good news for him. He's not going to be happy because, he probably is rooting for McCain or Romney or Giuliani or, somebody that's likely to win. And of course, the two least thank God Tom Tancredo is like, and Duncan Hunter. Why do they keep having these people on this? I don't even understand. But, people are not stupid. I mean, what did Duncan Hunter get? 1 or 2%? Oh, wait, I got a snapshot of the TV screen. Yeah, Ron Paul got 35%. Huckabee got 18%. Rudy Giuliani, 15%. John McCain close behind Rudy, where I don't think it's very safe. 14%. Mitt Romney coming in with only 12%, and then Brownback, Hunter, and Tancredo. Hunter and Tancredo each 2%, and Brownback 1%, which is, fine, because Brownback, what Brownback is like, I don't even understand this guy. I mean, he's from Kansas. He's obviously a weirdo. Giuliani, did you hear? Giuliani, let me play you something Giuliani said. This is going to stun you, I think. We're on the verge of closing Gitmo. This is another thing that the Democratic Congress, who really doesn't have control of the Senate, as you know, is going to have to see to, because our reputation in the world is being torturers and people who will render you and people who will lock you up without any judicial oversight is really making us, in some quarters, a laughingstock, and in other quarters, despised, like in, Baudia Babia or places that rhyme with it. So Rudy was asked about what he would do with Gitmo, and this is his answer. Now remember, he's a prosecutor by trade. That's what Rudy Giuliani is known for, prosecuting the mafia, all right? So here's this law and order dude talking about Gitmo and why it's a good thing to lock people up without charges.
Mayor Giuliani, if you don't think we should close the prison camp at Guantanamo Bay, how long are you prepared to live with the international criticism it's causing, and how long do you think we should hold people there that we feel we can't get a conviction on but are too dangerous to set free?
Well, this reminds me of the period of time in New York when judges would release criminals into the street or threaten to do it. We can't close Guantanamo because nobody will take the people there.
Oh. I mean, people are laughing.
The president is attempting to move those people to other countries, and those countries are intelligent enough to say, we don't want people as dangerous as this in our country. So what are you proposing, that we release them in New York or in Boston or in Los Angeles? So there's a reality to this that the liberal media and some of the Democratic politicians seem to try to avoid.
Rudy, if they're so dangerous, how about prosecuting them? Ooh, there's an idea from the liberal media, law and order. Oh, these people are just so amazing. Well, we have two choices. Either we disappear people and lock them up without charges, or we release them into the streets of New York. Right? That was the tone of the debate last night. So if you didn't watch it, good for you. That's all I can say. But Ron Paul, the winner. Republicans are desperate. Well, they may just have their answer.